If you don't want to have what everyone else has, don't do what everyone else does. Find out how next. Welcome back to the Biz Channel, Shakers. Derek Van Schaik here. That's right. If you don't want what everyone else has, don't do what everyone else does. You know, I used to be like that. I used to do exactly what everyone else did. And then my life was pretty much the same as everyone else's. I went to college, got a good job, and was living a life of someone who went to college and had a good job, you know? And then I went to grad school, and then I lived a life of someone who's making a little bit more money than someone who just went to college. I used to live a very normal life. I used to drive a little Honda Civic. I think it was like a 1999 Honda Civic, especially when I was in grad school and started to get my first well-paying corporate job. I was pretty much like everybody else. In the mornings, I'll wake up around 8 o'clock, drive to work in my 9-to-5 job, come home about 6 o'clock, and then, hang around, eat some dinner, and turn on the television and watch some TV, check out what's online, you name it. Yeah, that was my life. And then it came to a point where I was scratching my head and I was like, I don't really think I'm very happy doing this. Because here's the thing. School sets you up to do exactly that. I had a good salary paying job at a pretty stable company. I was doing a good job. I could have stayed there my entire life practically. And if you think about it, I was the pinnacle of success for what colleges and universities would call success. And you know what? I didn't feel very successful. Because for me, and maybe for a lot of you that have tuned in here, you see something greater for yourself. Not just, well, I'm just going to work a 9-to-5 job and, hey, pays the bills. Sounds good. I can raise a family on that. It'll work out pretty well. I think a lot of you that tune in here want something more than that. And that's how I am, clearly, because I quit the 9-to-5 job and I decided to go off on my own and say, hey, I know I can make money somewhere else. I don't know exactly where or how I'm going to do it, but I know I can do it. And I don't need a big corporation to be writing my paychecks. I can make my own money, but I knew that I can do better. And the big thing that always started to hit me is that I was doing exactly what everyone else did, and yet I was unhappy and I wanted so much more than everyone else has. So then that's when the realization kicked in that I need to do not what everyone else does. And I pretty much made it my life's goal. What does everyone else do? And then do the exact opposite of that. So the way that I thought about it is that if I don't want the most typical life, I need to start doing things that are very atypical of someone else's life. Not working 9-to-5, but working a heck of a lot more than 9-to-5. Not spending a lot of time with friends, hanging out at the bar, getting drunk, wasting money, and then at the end of the night, what did you end up doing? Don't go home every night and just turn on Netflix and watch a rerun of something. Why? Because a lot of people do something similar. Don't wake up at 8 o'clock to get to work at 9. Why? Because everyone else does that. Maybe wake up at 6 o'clock. It hurt to get a workout in and read for an hour. Most people don't do that. Again, they wake up at 8 o'clock to get to work at 9. And then after work, don't immediately turn on Netflix. You can spend some of that time studying for something or starting to build that business that you always dreamed of. Here's a little side note in starting a business. One thing that I would say is just start. Very capital intensive, maybe not. Just start. You know why? Because most everybody, everyone that you see driving to work 9-to-5 or, having some typical 9-to-5 jobs, very typical people, right? They don't even go that far to even start. You start, you are leaps ahead of them. Typically, how many people always talk about starting their own business, always saying it, always talking about it, but never actually do anything other than just dream about it and talk about it to their friends and family, right? So many people do that. But if you just start, you're like leaps and bounds ahead of them. Starting is the hardest part. Once you start, then you get to have a better idea of what everything is and if it's possible, if it's not, or maybe something similar is possible, or maybe it gives you a different idea. Just start. And we're very fittingly talking about this on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, it's the Super Bowl, and I don't have it playing. You know why? Because I don't have cable. I don't have access to live television, conventional live television. I'm just watching the score change on my screen here just to have some idea of what civilized society is looking at. Right now it's 21-9. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning. I didn't want them to win. It looks like they may win. Tom Brady's on fire, at least in the first half.
Looking. Third option. End zone. Caught!
I was just watching some YouTube clips on the NFL YouTube channel. That's all I was watching. But this is also kind of the point here I'm making. Most people, they watch the Super Bowl. Me, I don't even have cable TV. I don't have no access to live television, so I don't even get to watch the Super Bowl. And instead, I'm working technically, talking to you all. I want to do what everyone else doesn't do. Most people wouldn't do this. So it makes this even more precious to me, Most people aren't doing this, so I'm going to do it. But hey, very fitting to what we're talking about. Do what other people don't normally do so you can have what other people don't have. The whole point of this is really making it very clear of basically a rule of thumb that is very easy to see. Look at what everyone else is doing. Are you doing anything massively different than everyone else? And if not, you're probably getting something very similar to everyone else. But if you do something very different than everyone else, you're going to get something very different than everyone else. But here's the catch, though. It's for better and for worse, unfortunately. If you're an entrepreneur and you take the risk of being an entrepreneur, yeah, you can possibly work harder than everyone else and make way less than everyone else. But talking about business profitability and all that kind of thing, that's for a separate video. Now in the comments, what do people typically do that's something that you may not want to be doing? Let everyone know in the comments below. We will be covering starting a business and all that kind of thing on this channel. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss out on new. But what do we talk about in this channel? Business, sales, and motivation videos. And I'll see you at the top.